Welcome to our guide on building a low-cost smart farm system using ESP32 and Tasmota. Don't think of smart farming as something difficult. It's like how we used to clean the house ourselves, but now a robot vacuum does it for us. Simply, a smart farm system replaces the tasks you do to take care of plants.
To automatically or remotely monitor sensor values and control electrical devices needed for plant management, you need an electronic device.
That device is the ESP32, a type of microcontroller, MCU. It can connect to sensors, operate an electronic switch called a relay, and enable remote monitoring and control via Wi-Fi. There is an affordable temperature and humidity sensor module called the DHT22. For electronic switching, we use a relay module, and the number of relays is referred to as channels. In this example, I'll be using a 4-channel relay module to explain. To connect sensors or relay modules to the ESP32 board, you need jumper wires. See the photo for an example of how to connect the jumper wires to the ESP32 board.
You can upload programs or supply power through the USB cable. Pressing the reset button will restart the ESP32 board. Regarding the pins on the ESP32 board, the power output pins are used to provide power to sensors or relay modules. The analog input pins are used to receive values from analog sensors. Digital input and output pins are used to read digital data from sensors or to send control signals for operating relays. Let's take a look at an example of connecting a sensor and a relay module. To operate the sensor and relay, they must be connected to a DC power supply of 3.3 volts or 5 volts from the ESP32 board. VCC refers to the positive terminal plus, and GND refers to the negative terminal minus. The wire connected to the wall outlet is connected to the common and normally open terminals of the relay. When the relay receives an off signal, COM is connected to NC, so no current flows. When the relay receives an ON signal, COM is switched to no, allowing current to flow. You need to install the CH340 driver on your computer for the ESP32 board to be recognized. Search for the CH340 driver on Google. Click on one of the results sites. Download the CH340 driver and install it on your computer. Search for Tasmota Web Installer on Google, and you'll see a site called Install Tasmota in the results. Click on it to access the site. On the Install Tasmota page, you'll see a tab where you can select the firmware version. Various language versions will be displayed. In this example, at the bottom of the page, click the Connect button. A pop-up window will appear. Select the serial port shown in the list and click the Connect button. The installation will then begin. During the installation process, it first erases the memory, and once the installation begins, it takes about 2 minutes to complete. Once the installation is complete, a completion message will appear. Click Next to proceed to the Wi-Fi setup screen. Find the Wi-Fi network that the ESP32 board should connect to, enter the password, and click the Connect button. At this time, the computer or laptop you're using to install Tasmota must be connected to the same Wi-Fi router. Clicking the Visit Device button takes you to the Tasmota main interface. On the main screen, click the Configuration button and then click the Module button on the configuration page. Here you can configure which sensors or devices are connected to each pin of the ESP32 board. The GPIO numbers refer to the numbers printed on the ESP32 board itself. By clicking the tab next to each GPIO, you can assign a function to that pin, such as a relay, or specify the type of sensor connected to it. The ESP32 board's GPIO2 has a built-in LED, so you can click the tab next to GPIO2 and set it to relay. In the earlier connection example, the DHT22 sensor was connected to GPIO4. So click the tab next to GPIO4 and set it to AM2301, which is the setting for recognizing the DHT22 sensor. Then, click the Save button at the bottom to return to the main screen. On the main screen, the temperature, humidity, and dew point measured by the DHT22 sensor are automatically displayed. There is also a button labeled Toggle, which initially shows off. When you press the toggle button once, the built-in LED on the ESP32 board will turn on. Pressing it again will turn it off. The status will also change between on and off. Connect a relay module to GPIO 12 as shown in the example. In the Tasmota module configuration, set GPIO 12 to relay and change the number in the tab next to it to 2. After that, click the Save button to return to the main screen. Now, two toggle buttons appear on the main screen, labeled Toggle 1 and Toggle 2. In Tasmota, when assigning the same type of function multiple times, each is given a unique number so they can be distinguished and used